Good evening, and welcome to Episode 1, Chapter 1, I should say, of the Curse of Strahd. Tonight we will be telling you an ancient tale of horror from the wrong book that I picked up. Alright, let's take this again. Good evening, welcome to Curse of Strahd. I will edit that for YouTube. Hello everyone, it's Saturday night, and this is Dork Tales. Hope you're having a fantastic night, and I am your Dungeon Master Kelly. Tonight we are starting off the Adventure Path Curse of Strahd, which is a fantastic gothic horror setting, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and meet our cast. Alright, so why don't we... Here you go, Witcher. There's your inspiration. So for those of you who haven't played D&D with us, these coins that I'm throwing are called inspiration tokens. What you do is you spend one to gain advantage or to cancel disadvantage on a roll. You can also use them to cancel someone else's or give someone else a bonus. So introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Christine, and I'm going to play Illican Dawncaller Vaime Laga, the Goliath Barbarian. Yes.
Hello, I'm Amy. I will
Oops.
be taking that back. Thank you. I'm playing Shasta Denmora, the half-elf paladin.
Alright. I'm Neil Barney, and I'm going to be playing Brother Constantius Carus of the Welcoming Flame, a cleric with the light domain dedicated to Drake.
Hi everyone, I'm Michael. I'm playing Zan, the Plan, the human rogue who's probably never going to shut up unless somebody tells him to shut up, in which case he probably won't shut up. I'll shut up now.
You don't have to. You can keep going.
Okay, well I'll just keep talking then, because that's probably part of the plan.
It's always part of the plan. There we go. I can move my elbows a little more. Alright, cool. Alright, so welcome everybody. I'm just waiting to make sure that our sound is good, because a couple of times recently we've had a little Doppler effect, and I want to make sure that everybody sounds nice and good. Okay, smile, draw them down about there, keep myself at yellows. And I'm still hearing the gothic music playing. I don't know how... When did this stream... Twitch is so weird.
That's true.
Oh, it's because I haven't caught up yet. There we go. Hold on. Just double check. So how's everybody doing tonight? We're all good?
Yeah, not too bad.
Does anybody have any questions about Ravenloft or...
I know almost nothing about Ravenloft. So.
That's okay, because you don't know anything about it in character either. Whoa.
That's what I kind of figured, was that we're actually not in Ravenloft yet. We're in...
It is doing the Doppler
generic-
thing!
No, don't know things.
Good evening and welcome to Dork Tales. Tonight we are playing Chapter 1 of The Curse of Strahd. Ha ha ha! Let me introduce you to my victims. Players. Are
we...
Please introduce yourselves to the camera, Goliath.
Hi, I'm Christine, and I'm going to play Illican Dawncaller Vaime Laga, the Barbarian Goliath.
Hello, I am Amy, and I am playing Shasta Denmora, the paladin, half-elf paladin. There we go. Yeah. Get there eventually.
Hi there, I'm Neil, and I'm going to be playing Brother Constantius Carus of the Welcoming Flame, cleric of Brig, all-around nice guy with fire.
Hi, I'm Michael. I am playing Zan, the Plan, your friendly neighborhood rogue who is probably going to be talking way too much and not shutting up enough to let anyone else get a word in edgewise, that's probably not likely going to happen. He's probably going to be hiding over in the corner, stealing people's wallets when they're not looking. That probably won't happen either. Actually, he's probably a really bad liar. So I'll just shut up.
Hey, Mike.
Ah,
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
hey.
You know what? I do say you don't talk enough in most games, so... all right, so what I'd like everybody to do is, as we're playing, I'd like everybody just to keep an eye on their meters and try to keep them right on this beginning of yellow.
Alright, I can do that.
All right, now I'm going to take my headphones off, and
Game on.
game on! All right, so...
Do you want to just pop it to the bigger size?
Game on! We'll go to studio mode.
Woo!
All right, so now you can see everybody. So welcome, we are playing Curse of Strahd, which is a gothic horror setting in the Ravenloft campaign world. However, that's not where we're starting this game. Tonight we are starting in our own little planet of Elos, the generic fantasy setting. And we are starting off with... I love this because if I forget your names, I can just look at the screen. Unlike the other game where I just totally just forget everybody who is forgettable.
Well, it's also really useful for us because I know that's been something that people have complained about occasionally on the stream, of that we forget to use character names in-game. And now we have them right in front of us.
You have
So
no
we have no
excuse.
excuse to forget, which normally we do because, I mean, we know them by real names.
Or at least realish names. So, I also wanted to say that we're including an additional mechanic in this game. So once you all enter Ravenloft, we are going to start using the Togatta deck. So the Togatta is the Ravenloft version of the tarot deck, and the way this is going to work, I've read a bunch of different versions of this, and there's one particular Reddit post that I saw that really mapped it out in a very interesting way. What you can do is, if you do not have an inspiration point, you may gain one by evoking a Togatta card. This can be done once per combat. The thing is that I will randomly draw a card from the deck, and I will compare that to my list. And it can do things like everybody suffers horrible knee pain and takes a -4 on all rolls. It can have other things like now 1s and 2s are critical hits
Okay.
for all people. You will get it, because it is mercurial though, I will pay you an inspiration for evoking that. Strahd may evoke one as many times as he wants, because Strahd can do it whenever he wants. It's in the rules.
On that note, then, can we bank inspiration
No.
by doing this?
No.
Well, shit.
But what that means is you can blow an inspiration, then immediately regain it the next round.
It's true.
When you're playing a barbarian, I think that's fine.
Pretty awesome.
Playing a barbarian who does not believe in caution.
I mean, why should you believe in caution? Do I have
You
everybody's,
can't live life to the fullest if you don't.
Do I have everyone's Post-its?
Yes, I gave you mine.
Mine was too stuck.
Ah.
Ooh, stuck. Alright, I promise I will stop doing that soon.
You're just finding it too amusing right now.
So this is something you said that the
Yeah.
the characters don't know, but the players might.
What? No, the character. No.
No.
I mean, you
It's
can't.
like
know.
other characters might not know about your character.
Yeah,
Oh, then yeah.
but the players themselves may be aware of it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, cool.
Well, we were all at the
We
same
were
build night,
discussing
so.
things, so yeah, so just making sure.
So as we're starting, this is the first game. So a couple of things that I want to make sure is known on the table. So for one, this is a cooperative storytelling game as much as it is a game of Dungeons and Dragons. Number two, we are using Curse of Strahd, but the way this book is laid out, it's a very mercurial, very shifty kind of game. It's more of a campaign setting book than an actual adventure path in many ways. I'm going to do my best to make it so that no matter what you do, the game adapts and flows to it, and that you get to have some fun. I also hope that you don't just light inns on fire for fun, but hey, it's your characters. But with that in mind, I don't want you to feel constrained if you're feeling railroaded. I know that's never a problem for Michael because he'll do whatever he wants. But the rest of you, if you don't want to go along with a plot point, aside from the very big ones, and even then you don't have to, but it's helpful if you do, I suppose. I mean, this is a parallel to most Dracula stories. So We all went into this knowing that it was a gothic horror setting, and that we're hopefully going to play along with that. If you don't want to go along with a particular plot point, you can change it. There is not a single NPC you can't kill, or can't dispose of, sleep with, ally with, including Strahd. Including, like, some of the zombies.
Challenge accepted.
But, like, you should have fun with this game, and I want you to go out of your way to have fun with this game. That being said, though, this is a gothic horror setting, if you haven't noticed from that horrible filter that we have on you.
I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, well, because you look like a goth chick, and it's you basically look like goth Ziggy Stardust. Ziggy. So, with that, though, remember that I'm going to be doing my damnedest in a fully lit room, surrounded by camera equipment, to startle you, scare you, and impose a sense of doom and gloom. And if you can lean into that, that's better for me, and it's more fun for everybody, including the viewers. So, with that, why don't we get started? I think that's the only preamble. Also, if anybody has anything that is, since this is horror, I'm not going to go World of Darkness deep with a lot of this, but if something shows up that you have like any type of trigger, any type of just ick that you just don't want to deal with, like I've had friends who can't deal with anything involving bugs and bodies. Right? Mm-hmm. So if your thing is if you have, my thing, fingernail stuff.
Yep. Yep.
And I just watched...
Agreed.
Get away from that chalkboard.
What did I watch the other day that was all fingernail stuff? Oh, Dracula, the Dracula BBC show. It was all fingernail stuff, and I was squeamish the entire 3 episodes. Anyway, I'm not getting on that point for much longer, but if you have something, just let me know.
One little housekeeping thing, just letting you know, the angle you've got the camera at, if you look to the side to us, you start looking drunk, because your eyelids fall down a bit, because you're looking down and towards us.
Alright.
Whereas if you look straight on at the camera, you're fine. You look alert, you're everything.
Who
Just
says
wanted to
that-
let you know
Who
that
says
that
I'm
was...
not drunk?
Yeah,
The internet doesn't need to know. Alright, that's probably a little better. Okay. So, why don't we begin where most stories tend to begin? And you'll have to remind me. Are you traveling from... You're headed to the town of Drachtum. Mm-hmm. And there are several ways that you could be traveling. You could be traveling across the lake from Ravenloft, traveling down through Ostburn, along the Cherrywood Road, or you could even be down in the town of Foothill, headed up through Blackdale and around. Now, this time of year, the lake is particularly unpleasant, so I'm thinking that's not the option you're going to be taking. There are a number of large animals that are prowling beneath the waves, and on top of that, beneath that, actually, no, on top of that, there is an evil gale that shows up in the autumn months that sweeps across the water, causing floating ice patches. It's very uncomfortable. So most of the ferry services don't really run in autumn. Strangely enough, that's not as much of a problem in winter. But hey, that's magic for you. There's probably something right in the middle of the lake that nobody's ever looked for. So which town are you coming from? Bellevale, Ostburn, or Foothill?
Plan is in your name. What do you think?
We'll say Ostburn. Just because it's like favorite local haunt.
Sure. Ostburn is quite a settlement. It is about 50 miles away from the Light Fort, an ancient elven fort that was abandoned hundreds of years ago and taken over by humans when they started populating this side of the Earthscar. The Light Fort remains a tourist attraction more than anything, and is a tremendous gateway where the Margrave Croymont of Ravenloft runs his tax services through. So 1 part tourist attraction, 1 part tax service. Who, you know, it's like paying a hellacious price to visit a museum. Also, like going to a museum in Germany. So, on the road just outside of Ostburn, which is in itself a fairly small farming village, you will... There we go. You'll be staying in an inn. It's a ramshackle establishment called the Dragon and Nail. And as you're sitting down after a long day of walking, you pull up a chair at an old splintery table. In the distance, an off-key bard strums on a lute. Toss a coin to your... or whatever he's singing. You can hear the catgut on his lute beginning to stretch and prepare for an abysmal snap. A fire is burning in the corner. A couple of men are playing dice at the back. A serving woman who was once a serving girl and once a serving lass, and is now approaching her 50th year with deep bags and bunion feet, is serving out beer and other backroom brewed swill. She approaches your table to you. Good eye. How can I help you all?
I'll take 4 big glasses of your best beverage. What are you guys having? Never mind, they're gonna pay for their own.
So 4 glasses of water. I'm just
Yes.
kidding, yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what he needs.
Yes, they would like water. I will have the good stuff.
The good stuff.
Yeah, the dusty thing at the top of the shelves.
Yeah. Can I see your good stuff first, love?
Oh,
Something shiny and round.
Okay.
Round, not cylindrical.
Oh, money! You want to see money?
Aye,
Sure.
Yeah, if I'm going to open the dusty thing, I need you to flash some of the coin.
How much for the drinks and how much for the great service?
The great service comes free. Are you patrons of the establishment?
Regularly.
Yeah, well, tain't never seen you before. Have you checked with Harold?
Harold? Regularly. He knows me. We go way back. Hi, Harold.
The bartender, a thick, stocky dwarf standing on a stool, looks over at you. Who the fuck is that?
Harold, remember me? And I'll whip out my coin purse and jangle some coins.
Oh, hi.
See? We know each other.
So you do. Have you signed in? Are you staying here tonight?
What's the weather like?
Shit, actually.
Yes. How much for a room?
You want to check in with Harold over there. He's the one who handles that. But usually, how many rooms would you like? Are you couples? Are you couples? Are you couples? Are you thruples? What are you? We get a lot of...
Traveling companions. None of them are good
you
enough.
Couples? Are you Are they a thruple?
I don't care
No,
what they do in their own
definitely.
bed.
Definitely not.
I will stand up to my full 7 foot, 6 inch height and go talk to Harold about a room.
He'll look the beard or the beard behind the counter. The dwarf behind the counter has a wide split beard that comes out like some type of strange plowing instrument, almost like bisected at the chin.
I will compliment him on his impressive facial hair.
Oh, thank you very much.
Well done. You've done a good job at growing that, sir.
Well, my parents helped.
Don't they always? Rooms.
Yes.
I need one. I don't know what they're doing, but I need one.
You all staying together?
Potentially your bed's probably not going to fit me, so a pallet on the floor is what a...
I can get a bedroll comfy enough and big enough for you up there. I'll bring
Excellent.
2 halfling ones up and put them together.
You might want to make it 3. She'll straighten up a little further.
Yeah, maybe.
You need to work on that slouch. It's not good for your back.
Well, for here,
It's kind of hard when the spaces are built for humans.
Well, I got a common room area that'll fit the 4 of you. Down here. And up there, I do have one room that'll be a tight squeeze for all 4 of you if you want.
Common room or separate room?
Common room's fine.
Common room.
So you'll sleep down here by the hearth?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Good and warm.
Alright, in that case, it'll be 3 coppers a night per.
Sure.
Excellent.
Meals are extra, liquor's twice extra.
Alright. Well, I think one night.
Are you a cleric?
Meal?
Is your friend a cleric?
Yeah. Light. Oh,
A
what?
brig?
Yeah, that's the one.
We'll throw in a blessing if you give us half price.
Oh, I can't give you half price, but I can round it down to a single silver for the lodgings.
That sounds
Alright.
reasonable.
Round down the blessing.
Does that actually seem completely
It's
reasonable?
pretty cheap. Like it's basically like $20 each to sleep in the main area. So it's not. It is what it is. It's like hostel rates.
Alright.
Not.
No, I'm just saying that she's smart enough that she'd be able to tell if he pulled a fast one on the math. No. One night's lodging, meal, 2 meals. Tonight, tomorrow morning. If they want liquor on top, they'll buy their own.
All right.
Deal?
He'll reach under the counter and pull out a huge logbook and slam it down. Sign here. All your names. It's a guest book.
Alright.
Assuming he says that loudly enough, I'll get up from whatever table we're at, go up and...
No,
Nice to meet you, Padre.
Give him the blessing!
He was with, sorry.
I'm gonna look and see if I recognize any names.
Sure, go ahead and make me an investigation roll.
Let's see how much my dice hate me.
Very much.
The answer is I rolled a 2.
You rolled a 2? Ah, you recognize
so
Dawn
6.
Caller. Dawn Caller's right there.
Yeah.
And Brother Kara. Oh, he finished the S. So back at the table, the woman who since introduced herself to you as Deidre is going to drop off a 4 pints of very, very thick dark stout.
Ooh.
Do mind yourself, it's a bit bitey.
Oh, I bite back.
Call me later.
Okay, later. I'll pop out a gold coin and
Wow.
slide it across the table. Keep the change.
Wow.
I will get a drink from Harold. And then go back to the table. And you said it was chairs, right?
It's like, there are some chairs, there are some large stools.
I will take the empty chair and pull a Riker maneuver.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
do the leg throw over.
The backwards chair, though.
And as you sit down, you'll hear as the chair beneath your Goliath weight protests and then thinks better of the protest.
I'll look down. I'm not that heavy.
It stops squeaking immediately, intimidated by your girth.
Excellent. 300 pounds is merely...
It's a lot. It's a lot of woman to love, but it's good. How tall are you? 7 foot 6?
7'6".
7'6", and you are
5'4".
5'4".
5'7"?
5'10".
Goliaths are between 7 and 8 feet tall. So I decided not to quite go 8 feet.
So she's short for a Goliath.
So dragging your head
I'm-
across
No,
every
I'm
ceiling.
medium. I'm medium for a Goliath. I'm right between 7 foot and 8 foot.
Okay.
That's why I picked it. I didn't want to go full on 8 foot.
Permanent
You could have
hunchback.
been the shortest Goliath.
Shorty got low.
That's not how we do
low.
You bought everyone food, yes? If not, I'm going to buy food for the table and then go to the table. But,
No, we agreed on the one night's lodging plus meals.
okay.
So,
In that case, I order whatever thin wine they're pouring and take it back to the table.
All right.
Although I probably
Alright.
won't describe it as thin wine to the
And I will tell
bartender.
you guys what you're owing for the night. It's like 4 copper or something each.
So some stewing beef made into more of a thick paste than an actual stew, almost like a porridge, filled with chunks of meat and potatoes and carrots, comes out to you after a while, and it's fairly mild. But the table is also graced with a small pot that has various subsections of spice and pepper for you to spice it up yourself, because honestly it's way better just to make a bland basic starch and protein to hand out to people, and then be like, if you want, it's basically there's a Parmesan section, a chili flake section, and a salt and pepper section.
She tastes it and starts reaching for the stuff.
Yeah.
Handful of chili flakes.
Honestly, tasting it, you think that the beef is probably a big... Actually, Goliaths, how did the Goliaths like their food?
Kicking.
I mean, they're mountain people.
Okay, the meat's
Mountain
probably
clan.
to your
She's an
liking. So
she's an
to,
outlander,
To
so-
you and to Amy, the meat is probably to your liking because it's a bit
Gamey.
gamier. Yeah.
So is what they're used to.
Oh, I do look a little drunk when I look off the camera. That's what I get for not wearing my glasses tonight. Alright, so as for... I'll just do this a lot. I'll put my glasses in on the bathroom break. Alright, and for the two of you, you definitely want to salt this a bit. It's going to be fine. You're not going to get the runs or anything, but it's definitely going to be a bit...
I've had jail food. This is like a banquet.
It's true. It's true.
She probably reaches into a pouch at her waist and pulls out some like mountain herbs or something and throws them in.
Alright, go ahead and roll me a D100.
D100, okay.
Because why not?
43.
43, you have some slightly mushy wild chives, as well as several handfuls of rosemary sprig, and some parsley, sage, rosemary, and garlic.
I will throw some garlic, the mushy chives, because they're almost gone, and probably some
I
of
just
that
tried to
rosemary.
push my glasses.
Doing well.
Wait,
And I will season my stew appropriately.
wait, we're in a gothic horror game and you're eating the garlic?
Yeah, you need to save that. That's
We're not in the gothic horror
Yeah, I know that.
yet.
That's why
yeah, you're in the
You're
goofy
gothic.
fantasy game right now.
We don't
Yeah.
know about the gothic horror yet.
No, we're still generic.
And
Enjoy
at that
your
point,
garlic.
we'll then have to roll to see if we know about that.
I'm going to go up to the registry book and sign my name with a very flourishy X.
Just an X?
Yeah, I don't know how to write well.
X marks the spot.
Didn't teach you how to write either, huh?
I signed my name.
Right.
There's a loop in it and everything.
Ah, well, it's your mark.
See? You do remember me. Oh, I'm so touched.
Yep. Yep, you are.
Touched in the head.
Over
Okay.
there, the bard continues to tune his lute and starts off into a better song. Town Dog Run Bridge. Biggest batch of gnolls he ever did.
Was this a new one?
Trying new things out tonight, guys. Hope you don't mind. This is open mic night, and my name's Mike.
Is
Don't
he actually
open
doing
me.
well?
He's stumbling a bit, but let's do a skill check. He got a 10. So with his he's got like a 14 probably with his skill check.
It's alright.
It's better than I could play.
I'll flip
Let
the
me
copper at
tell
him.
you, there was one, and she was short. She had 2 eyes of different colors, and lightning bolts that went zort. There was another. I think his name rhymed with Christopher. And he was an elf, and he was gloomy, and he didn't miss 4 or 5 of them.
That
No.
doesn't rhyme!
It's supposed to. It's avant-garde, my friend. It's avant-garde.
Oh,
So
Think
is
you're doing
that
it in the wrong spot then.
before it gets good?
up tempo!
Okay.
Do we know about the Dog Run Bridge thing? Is it big news?
Oh, why don't you go ahead and make me everyone an insight roll to see if you would have heard about it.
Natty one.
17.
17? You would have heard that there was a large...
13.
What's that?
13.
13?
7.
So there was, Amy, you would have heard that there was there are a few wars going on right now, and apparently one of them is at the Southlands. You heard that there was a big monster invasion that was repelled at Dahlgren Bridge, which is the crappiest of the 3 bridges, bridging the Earthscar and going to the subcontinent of Thestorel.
But still,
There.
It's a big fight. A bunch
an
of
army of
monsters.
gnolls?
Yeah.
Can't believe I missed it.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Sounds epic.
Sounds like shite. Next song.
All right. Do you like to drink? Because I like to drink, and drinking's what I think. You like to drink? Well, I like to drink. I'll drink until I stink. Oh, drink, 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 drink. Pick up your beer. Drink, 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 drink. Drink with me here. Drink.
I love this song.
Yeah!
He keeps going, and you can hear all around you a chugging contest is going on.
Contest?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, people are having chugging contests at the bar, and it turns into a fairly good night overall. Why don't we go ahead? Anybody want to join in that chugging contest?
Yes!
Okay, so anybody
gonna
wants to
watch.
do that, I'm going to say that there are 2 actual contenders, and that die is lost forever.
I will walk up. Can anybody join your contest?
I think so, says one of the farmers.
Excellent!
Check
Well,
to
you
see
should-
if they're taking odds.
You should watch out for the Destroyer.
Who?
The Destroyer.
You know the
Tell me
Destroyer?
more!
He's got a huge liver.
The Destroyer's an unstoppable in this area. A drinking contest, no one beats him.
You don't say.
Where's the Destroyer? In the loo right now.
See if they take odds.
And then suddenly you will hear the sound of the tavern door opening. And rain floods in. Lightning crackles in the background, and you see the silhouette of a 2.5-foot tall gnome walk in the door. Her hair up in bright orange pigtails.
That one?
That one.
Woo!
Excellent.
See if they take odds.
Is someone here doing a drinking contest?
These fine folk are. I think we should join. She'll look down at her.
Someone lose a mountain? Seems like a mountain just walked into the bar.
I left the mountains behind.
You are the mountain lady.
Meh, not that big.
I've got 2 gold against the Destroyer.
Do you have 2 gold?
Yes.
I've got 2 gold toward me. And stop calling me that. My name's Bertha.
Well met.
She'll
I'm
climb
Dawn
up
Caller.
Dawn Caller? Yeah, well, you're going to be drunk collared. Let's do this.
Alright, what are we rolling for?
This is just going to be a stamina check.
So, con?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Basically, just do a stamina... Do a stamina, a constitution save.
Con save? Okay.
Holy crap. She earns her name. So that is a 24. What'd you get?
25. I had a 6 to it, so.
All right. So, with
chug,
great
chug,
perspiration
chug.
and inspiration throughout the night, you will find that there are people who are enjoying this drinking contest are dropping like flies around you. Local farmers and farmhands and young boys coming to drink with the big girl and the little girl, who both outpace them. And at the end, you are both swimming behind the eyes. It's like your eyeballs are disconnected and floating around in your skulls.
We replaced our bodily fluids with beer.
And she looks up at you. It was a good round.
Aye, another?
Yeah, one more. And she'll slam her glass down on the bar. You get filled.
That's the spirit.
So you'll both be filled with very high proof dwarven double mead. And And as you down it, she will pour it down her gullet, pause, pour it back into the cup somehow.
Through her nose.
Basically. It bounces off her stomach like rubber. And she will tap out and fall backwards off of the bar stool.
I will sit her back up and gently pat her on the back and good contest.
She's already
She has earned her name.
She falls asleep next to you, and you are quite inebriated.
Oh, yes.
You are definitely like 3 or 4 pints into the night within the first hour, right? Like on about the equivalent of about like 4 beer in one sitting, probably.
So,
I'll collect my gold.
what
Yeah,
type
you
of
will.
drunk is Dawn Caller?
So the odds that you have, you're gonna net 7 gold off of that.
So, like, chatty, social, flirty, stoic, or you can't tell.
I think it probably depends on what happens around her. If nobody wants to talk to her, she will probably fall into stoicism and watch for new opportunities to engage in competition.
It needs to be pointed at you.
Okay. This will require some slight shuffling.
Sorry.
Oh, good.
So move it a little bit toward you and actually point it down at you.
Ooh, low.
Yeah.
Get low.
I will go over and slap 2 gold coins on the table in front of Dawn Caller and say, here's your cut.
Excellent. She'll take them and pocket them.
Is better?
All right.
Then she'll kind of look down and go, didn't you just bet on her?
No, I wagered against.
Ah, okay.
I wagered 2. That's what you just won. I took the profits off of it. So you got the better
I
half
see.
of the deal.
You just don't.
I
Phrase
won a
things.
competition and I got money.
That's how that works.
This is a good evening. She'll tuck it carefully in her bag.
All right. And with that, are the 3 of you doing anything for the evening besides just drinking and eating and kind of just relaxing?
Nah.
Do we have a plan? What is our current plan?
Probably get up in the morning and continue
Yeah.
traveling. It's about a 2-day walk from here.
Okay.
Get a good night's sleep.
Actually, if you hitch your ride on a turnip truck, it's less of a walk.
Were we planning to hit the beer fest?
Oktoberfest?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually in 3 days.
Excellent. As long as we get there in time for the festival,
We'll be there.
I'm not passing up a beer contest.
Yeah, well, then you better sleep this one off. Look, if you want to be in prime condition, you're going to need a good night's sleep.
Fair.
Get extra pillows.
By this point, the commoner's probably starting to clear, right?
Most of the people who aren't staying here, yeah. And a couple of the people who are a little too drunk are staying here with their...
She will go find Harold and ask for the bedroll.
I'll set it up over there by the hearth for you.
Excellent. Thank you.
And with that, you will kind of turn in for the night, probably hiding your belongings kind of inside of your shirts or pants, so that if anybody has to...
She keeps
Anybody
her money
wants to
pouch between her breasts.
Cool, so anybody has to earn them.
Oh, yeah.
Keep the tip, you filthy animal. As you're going to sleep for the night, can I get everybody to do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be to give me an insight roll.
16.
25.
15.
That's a 1.
Perfect.
I rolled a 1. So, 3, but,
Most of you sleep through the night well. But one of you wakes in the middle of the night. It's you. Is it Shasti or Shaste?
Shasta.
Shasta. I like the cola. Okay.
Yeah.
Shasta's a cola in the States. It's like
Is it?
it's like President's Choice.
Huh.
It's got all the
know that.
weird flavors.
In
Like
fact, Marianne's Trench quite likes it.
Yeah.
They have it on their behind the scenes of their videos in Vancouver.
Sure didn't know that.
Yeah, Shasta's fine.
I had
But
never
not
heard of
sponsored,
it
could be
before them.
sponsored. I would be sponsored
Spelled
by
with
Shasta
an-
Cola.
It's spelled with an
I'll send him an
X.
email.
I know, because it's extreme. Yeah, but like, so like,
It's probably more like Jasta, honestly, with the we were doing the. But eat all good. Oh my God. No, you don't need to.
I'm sure I just pulled up a Wikipedia
tab.
of all of
that
the
doesn't
yeah,
exist
yeah.
anymore.
It does in the States.
Really?
Yeah, you can get anything in the States. That's part of the problem. It's part of the solution. It's part of the problem. Shasta's going to wake up to the sound of the front door slamming open and shut. It's become unmoored from its lock, and the wind and storm outside is slamming the door. Boom, 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 boom.
Okay. She's gonna get up and go close it.
You work your way around the bodies of your friends. And as you do, your foot comes down into some sticky residue. The world is in a strange hue. It's black and white. I mean, it doesn't seem strange, but there's an air of strangeness to this setting that puts you at it puts you off. But in that way where it's a delayed reaction, like a moment or two after you notice that something's off, you're still moving with it. You recognize it almost as an out-of-body experience. You hear that as your foot pries up from the sticky substance on the floor, and you can feel it trailing behind your footsteps. You hope that it's not vomit. At least vomit would be recognizable. You continue to the door, which slam, slam.
Does it look like it's just like the door's been broken, or just this the latch isn't secured
It
properly?
doesn't look like the latch is secured.
Okay.
Do you go to try to secure it?
Yeah.
As you do, the door is going to fly open into your hand. You'll catch it. But as you do, you'll see that there is a rider astride a horse outside. A handsome man with flowing dark hair is silhouetted there. And for a brief moment, you think it's someone else. You think it's someone from your past. But it can't be. This is a human.
Slam door. Or attempt to.
As you start to slam the door, you'll feel a resistance. Glancing down, you can see that there's something blocking the door. Mounds and mounds of things have fallen into the doorway. As you look down, you can see the dead eyes of your companions looking up at you from where their corpses have been deposited in the doorway. Welcome, you hear in your head. Welcome. I've been expecting you.
Get out of my head. Get out of my head.
My dear, you are in mine. The walls will begin dripping with blood. The door will dissolve into blood and ichor. And as you step back, you'll feel your legs begin to dissolve into the floorboards. And then you fall through them into blackness and wake with a start. The wind is still hammering outside, and who got the highest on that insight roll? So you have been up for quite a while since the break of what would be dawn if it wasn't an absolute nightmare out there right now.
The barkeep has already served up a thick porridge to you, and is making just brief conversation as he does. Cleric of Brig. I ain't seen one of you around here in a while.
Really, and I am surprised by this. We wander the land. I have done administration upon your heart.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Ah, it's a good hearth,
It's brick, I built it myself.
and thus it serves as a bastion of community.
Yeah, it's pretty much the only community center we got around here.
It is often the case. The lot of an innkeeper is more noble than most people feel.
Where are you all headed?
South and west.
Oktoberfest.
Ah. My companions have told me that we are headed to a strange festival, not of Brig.
The beer festival.
That's the one.
I tell you what. Are you headed back through here afterwards or continuing on to the east?
We will see where the fates take us.
If you do come back this way, anything that wins a medal at all, even a bronze, I would happily pay twice what you pay for it. And I trust a man of Brig to give me a fair shake.
Happily. To what end do you need these?
Yeah, customers like your friend who like things off the top shelf pay in pretty pennies for luxury.
This we can do. Know that the money that you pay will be a donation to
Oh,
the Church of Brig.
oh, thank you very much. One exception though, there's this fop that keeps entering the contest. Baron Lindorm. He basically bought the town out, the entire area out when he bought the barony at Madaket. His beer's shite.
I will be sure to convey this to every person that I meet.
And be careful, it's his domain you're walking into, and he's a bit of a... He's a dragonborn prick. Blue-scaled bastard.
Well, I have no cause to fear from a baron. How can he touch a man of God?
Usually with lightning breath.
This is a fair point. I will trust in.
Or maybe he'll pay someone else too.
You speak reasonable but disheartening words, my friend. And I pat him on the shoulder.
That's my lot in life. Ain't a lot, but it's life. And
So
with,
often the case.
with that, the rest of you have awoken and are starting to get some gruel handed out to you as well. And your friend is still sleeping in bed. And about the time that that Deidre goes by... I said Deidre, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. For some reason I thought it was Deanne. Deidre comes by and very sleepily serves you some very soft cider with your breakfast. Give you a nice buzz going with the day, but it's very low alcohol and it's cleaner than the water. And it's actually quite nice. There are a lot of apple orchards through here.
Nice.
And with that, your friend is going to awaken with a start.
Oh, about time. You weren't even drinking. Up, up. There's lots of gruel to go around.
What time is it?
Mid-morning.
Probably feel like they're already asleep.
The sun would be high if it wasn't raining.
Right. Yeah, okay.
And as you
Let's go.
awaken, you'll notice that the door is swinging on its hinge. 5 times it swings open and shut, slamming against its frame. And then the 6th time, it bursts completely open. and a thick-waisted gentleman with a bald patch creeping up his long, blonde-haired scalp. As if his entire face was trying to give himself a bit of a... What am I thinking here? Basically, he's got his long blonde hair tied back in a ponytail, and it's slowly creeping
The
further
hairline
and
is
further
starting to
backwards
go.
towards the tail itself. Soon it will be only ponytail.
You'll have a queue.
It's true. When you get lost in a metaphor, ladies and gentlemen, will burst in. His clothing looks extravagant. It's crushed blue velvet around a girthy belly that jiggles slightly when he walks. He has breeches that are cut very tight to his thighs and calves, which, to their credit, although a little flabby around the ass and inner thigh, are fairly strong legs. Someone who rides a lot. And it looks like at one point this man might have had some military service, the way he carries himself, or at least he thinks very highly of himself. And as he approaches the bar, he'll slam his hand down. Harold! They're there again. The wagoners. The wagoners! Have you any adventurers here today? He'll cough and kind of rub his nose in your direction. You there! He will turn and face you. I am Malorad Tremendo. I'm the mayor of Ostburn. You can call me Mayor Tremendo. Or sir, if it does you well. Where are you headed, adventurers?
Darktoberfest.
That's a long way from here. It's almost 140 miles?
It's only a couple days.
You'd make it a lot faster with a pair of horses.
Do you have a horse that would fit me?
Maybe a cart.
Then perhaps you would enjoy yourselves more at the festival with a little more coin in your pocket.
Potentially. What did you have in mind?
There is a wagon train of roving vagrants at the city's limit. They come around on dark nights and keep us awake with their loud music and bonfires. I couldn't sleep a wink last night, but they're beyond the city limits, and my powers are somewhat limited. My coin is not under such limitation, however. I would like you to encourage them to move along and not come back by whatever means necessary. And if you find anything that they've stolen, they're obviously thieves, tramps, and hooligans. We've had a rash of chicken thefts. Should you find any chickens, for example, or jewelry that is obviously beyond their vagabond means?
I'm pulling my hair down over my face while he's talking about criminals.
Alright. How much are you putting forward?
What's your going rate?
Double it. We're not mercenaries. We're adventurers.
Do you have a going rate?
What do you guys
Yes,
think
it
is
is.
25%
I would say it's
up front.
Insight to figure out what a reasonable amount of gold to ask for this
Sure,
is.
go ahead.
I rolled a 2.
You have no idea, so just kind of just guess. Like, what do you think is fair?
How many thieves are there?
There's 4 wagons.
4 wagons? Well, then we're going to need at least 20 gold per wagon worth.
How about 500?
500. Oh, why don't I just get you to kill the dragon as well?
That's why I said
it
20
dragon?
per wagon.
I rolled a 16 for insight.
Honestly, like 20 per wagon is not terrible. Especially if you get to keep a lot of the stuff that if you have to kill them, you keep their stuff.
It's almost like I know what I'm talking about.
You still probably say 25.
25 per wagon?
100 gold pieces.
25% up front.
100 gold pieces to get rid of those slovenly vagabonds?
Well, I guess we can just leave them here for you then.
Quarter up front, or
Let's
else we're
get 'em
going back to
back.
breakfast.
Would
Have a good day.
who's doing a persuasion roll? All right, so go ahead and roll that.
I'm gonna use not that dice.
Dude, that's probably a good idea.
It's oh, hey, I rolled a 4.
Well,
So that's just
I'm just
a
gonna
10.
sit there
are you
looking
roll?
intimidating.
Well, was anybody going to roll to help? So I can get one person to help Amy out, which will give. Pardon me. One person to help Shasta out, which will give Shasta advantage on this.
Does persuasion?
Yeah.
Does anybody have high charisma?
One might think the cleric does, but the cleric's staying out of this from the sound of it.
I'm moderately good at persuasion, but I haven't said anything, so I don't want to roll.
That's
a
fair.
six.
Well, you have doing a lot, and you've done a lot, so one of you can do this.
Okay.
Mike's just saving his first roll of the game.
I was gonna
So
sit
that's-
there and look intimidating, so
Well, if that's the angle you want to go, sure. I was just going to talk my way out of it like everything else.
Well, it's not going to give Shasta the bonus if you use intimidation.
okay. So I will attempt a persuasion
Inspiration.
then. That would be 18 to persuasion.
Okay, so then Shasta, roll me another dice for your advantage.
Oh, that's slightly better. It's 15.
But I want them gone. For 100 gold pieces, I want them gone, especially if you're getting 25% of that up front.
yes.
If they're eliminated, feel free to help yourself to their horses and wagons. It would make a very comfortable trip.
Eliminated for how long? Because we're not murderers.
Don't speak for everyone.
We're
If
not-
they attack you, I assume you'll protect yourself.
Exactly.
Well, don't plan on splitting heads over splitting hairs.
What?
I don't know what the term is, you know. I don't.
Just shut up and take my money, and I'll throw a small back in the... He'll
Pleasure
throw,
doing business with you.
he'll
The Goliath will kind of
throw like a handful of gold coins in your face.
Alright, we'll take the money. And we'll persuade them to move along.
Good. Sooner better than later.
Wait.
Zen,
No. That's, if we're gonna do a deal, there has to be a handshake involved.
alright. She'll spit in her palm and hold it out to
It's
seal
gotta
the
be
deal.
official. Come on. This is a contract. In or out. Otherwise, we're walking with our 25%.
I'm gonna roll intimidation.
Alright.
That's 18. She's just big. She stood up and did it.
He'll bend his wrist kind of grossly into your palm and shake.
She'll smack, hold on, and do it a good shake.
Ah, yeah.
It's a deal.
Good.
Does he leave after that?
He'll wipe his hand off on the table afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Pansy ass city folk.
You say that? Do you say that?
No.
Okay.
It's
So-
just
We all know you're
commentary.
thinking
Yeah.
it.
All right. So, and with that, he'll say, "When you're done, come by City Hall."
Noted.
And he'll turn abruptly on his heel and march out the door.
Right. Once he's gone, I'm going to look up from the morning stew, gruel, oatmeal, whatever it is, meal and bowl, and go,
Gruel.
Bowl meal.
yeah, bowl meal, and go, I do not like them.
No, he doesn't seem to have a concept of fair play. And it's outside of city limits, so none of his business. But let's see if they'll take some of the money to move along and we'll get a bit more and everybody's happy.
Exactly.
Everybody earns a little.
I'm not opposed to this. I just...
And if they're thieving types, who knows? Maybe things can pan out. Like, we could do some fencing for them, 25% gold for whatever booty that they got. Be a pretty fair trade for them to move along.
I would rather not.
What? I don't even know what they're selling. Maybe they've got food for traveling.
Like the chickens?
Like chickens. Well,
Yeah, and really. Who can
You
tell one
appreciate-
chicken from another?
Exactly.
Anybody's allowed to have chickens. Doesn't
I
mean that they
appreciate roast
stole them.
chicken.
I do not think they are thieves, but we will see.
Probably not.
Probably not.
All right, and with that, you'll finish your breakfast and head out into the day. So, as you do, you are going to step out into this miserable day where the rain is coming down almost sideways, like the gods are trying to wipe this town away. Like, oops, didn't mean to put that building there. As soon as you step out, there is a glorp as your boot sinks about 6 inches into mud and comes out with a...
Meh.
Some of your lighter-footed friends walk a bit better, but even then your boots are going to be filthy. You can see that the front entrance of the inn has just been completely just drenched in mud. And as you walk, can I get someone want to give me a... Actually, what's everybody's passive perception? I should know that.
15.
So passive perception, if you haven't written it down before, is 10 plus your perception score with modifier.
Oh, okay.
So if you add proficiency to it,
I'm
you get
16.
that.
16?
I
15,
believe mine
16?
is 14. Yeah, 14.
12.
Okay.
And if it ever comes up, my
So
passive
is
that's
that
the same.
with your proficiency and your skill?
Uh,
Are you proficient in perception?
yes.
What's your wisdom bonus?
0.
Okay, so it is 12. Cool. Okay. Just gonna jot this down real quick. Passive perception.
And I am pointing out that I do have a cat, but it mostly like lives in my backpack.
Oh, that's true. So as you're heading out, you can hear.
What's his name? We probably know by now.
Hookfoot.
Hookfoot?
Mostly because it has like long claws and spends most of its time kneading the inside of the backpack.
Okay, so Shasta, yours is what?
What?
What's your score?
Oh, 14.
14, 15, 16. Karis and Dawn Caller.
So it was Hookfoot?
That's
So
Hook for sure.
Dawn Caller and Karis immediately, as you step out, can hear in the distance the sound of music being played. It's kind of a jaunty, wild, like almost festival music that's coming from the woods just around the corner. And as you're hearing it, it's very full of life. And actually, do I have that sound? Let's find out. I just turned off all the wind.
That would be nice. It was, turn off the wind.
Can't do a search. That's weird. Okay. All right, so let's turn the wind back on. Ooh, wind. Don't fall asleep, Amy.
I'm not falling asleep. I refuse.
Good. All right, so outside you can hear the sound of lively music and trilling and a lot of whoop-ah type of hooting and hollering over around the corner, which I can't find apparently. And I refuse to make it Halfling Festival. See, they don't have like wagon train here besides like... Oh, that's unfortunate. I really was hoping that I would have like random music. Oh, it is what it is. And you can hear just around, straight ahead of you and to the right into the woods.
Right? Oh, wrong voice. I pull my overclothes tighter around me and start trudging off in the direction of the music.
I just walk there, getting wet and first shedding some water, but I was just being like, whatever. It is what it is. Oh, apparently we have echo.
Echo?
Somebody just said, whoa, echo.
Hmm. We have echo? Let's find out.
Frame my cape.
Oh, we do have echo.
Ooh.
How did that happen?
Oh dear.
Oh, hecko. Not the echo.
All right, thank you for. I hear it now. Let's. One sec.
Is it going? Ah, hey, there we go.
It should be going right now.
Yes, I can see that we have bar
Yep.
stuff moving.
It's fixed.
Excellent.
Makes me worried that it's popped out of sync on the other games that we've done so far, though.
Well,
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to check that later, but not now.
yes. I wonder if it's having trouble with the other inputs. Of like the music and stuff.
Maybe.
No, I don't think so. But I think it's because I was using the device timestamp, so I'm gonna move it to the system timestamp instead, and hope that works.
Okay. Well,
Cool.
at least we have
And-
somebody in the chat who will.
Cool.
let us
Thank you
know.
so much, Stu. Okay, Stu in the chat is a hero. All right, so as you step outside, you can hear the sound of lively music around the corner. Do you proceed straight to it, or do you go shopping and do D&D stuff for a bit?
I'm gonna head over to it, and I'm going to try and find whoever looks like the leader. Ask whoever's closest for who's nominally in charge.
We have the same plan.
We all do.
All right.
Wait.
So,
I don't have a plan. Of course I have a plan.
What's the plan?
I like your plan, though. Let's stick with that one.
everything here is muted and cast into dim light. It's like the sun never rose today. The clouds are so thick and black overhead. And as you cut through the woods, you can see a dozen men and women gathered around a crackling bonfire that's spitting and issuing gouts of steam as the rain hits it.
I'm impressed that they kept it going through this.
Yeah.
A few of them sing and dance around the fire, while others find happiness passing around some wine. It looks like they're finishing up a long night of celebration.
It's all great.
3 barrel-topped wagons are packed at odd angles, with a 4th central, with a man sitting at the front of it. Tied to a nearby tree, grazing, are half a dozen draft horses wearing bright coats with bangles and tassels. All of the men and women here that are moving around are wearing these bright colors, really lively, really actually not terribly dissimilar to the kind of stuff that the mayor was wearing. That very, hey, look, I had some money, so I bought a cool outfit type of outfits. This man is sitting at the center. A very cherubic-cheeked man with craggy eyes and a goatee and a wide smile, with giant puffy sleeves coming out of, I don't know what that article of clothing is called, but it's like a vest that turns into a robe. Made of sort of a robe, but it doesn't have sleeves, which is weird. A sleeveless robe.
Vestments?
Kind of a vestment, yeah. He's a cleric of getting drunk. And as you approach, you can hear the sound of jostling and laughing, and the whole woods just fell down.
Ooh.
We'll fix that on the break.
It's Goliath heavy step.
Yeah, you just knock a tree over.
Do these people... I'm trying to find a way to ask this. Are they a known group, cultural or otherwise?
Not really. I mean, there are quite a few caravanning, like migrant people here. These people in particular, you have not really seen around these parts.
Yes, these people are definitely hard to quantify with today's sensibilities. This was written in the 70s, though, so hey. And I've put some spins on them that will make them far less gut-wrench, like knee-jerk. Yes. So as you approach them, they are going to suddenly become much more quiet and stop dancing.
Well
But-
met.
Greetings.
Yes, well met to you too. How can I help you all? My name is Stanimir. I am the head of this group of Istani.
Pleased to meet you. I am Illican Dawncaller Vaime Laga.
Ah, you are quite a tall one.
Yes, thank you.
You have some giant in you, I see.
Goliath.
Ah. Is that
May
like a
I sit
giant?
with you?
Yes, you all. Oh, all of you. Please.
I will pull up a corner of the log, sit down, and start telling him a story. Let me tell you of our morning so far. We woke in the inn, had decent porridge, and then the door bangs open, and this poncy, fluff for brains city mayor walks in, starts complaining about honest folk having a party. Now, his clear intent was ask you to move along with swords if need be. However, my first thought was, well, if he's paying for this, why don't we take some money, come see you lot, see if you're willing to take some money to move far enough along he can't hear you, and we share some money. And we get money for not doing really anything.
If I may speak without interrupting you, I must say, I don't dislike this proposal.
Excellent. What'd you say, friend?
Well, don't worry. We, and he'll wave his hand around to affirming nods, have no wish to make this mayor our enemy.
He's one of those
How much did
poncy city types.
cities? You know what they are? They are cages for the soul.
And just cesspits of disease.
Yes, lots of poop everywhere.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ugh, they should do what we do. Spread out. And then if one group is sick, you put up markers.
First, my apologies. Vladimir! Hey, how about you hand out some wine? Stop being stingy. And one of the men, kind of shorter squatter with kind of a jetty beard, is going to come and hand a very full wineskin to the two of you, each. And is going to come around and hand another one to you after grabbing another from a wagon.
Thank you.
Here. He'll hand you one of his own.
Thank you. She will try it. And
It's very spicy. It's a very spicy red wine.
delicious.
It's very good. It's from a winery near my home.
You are blessed with good spirits.
Well, where I come from, there are spirits everywhere. How much money were you thinking?
Well,
To
he
do-
agreed.
The mayor said a gold per head that we could get to move along.
Ah, yes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll be moving along after this, I assume, as well. So
Well,
with my
yes.
horses and with, let's see here, that would be 30 gold.
We'll gladly.
I think he meant per human head. He wasn't paying for
Oh,
horses.
Zan, hush.
Well, that's mildly racist, because that means that your friend wouldn't count either. And your friend is definitely very interesting to me, both of your friends.
They're hardly horses.
You and your sharp ears, you are not a human, so you do not count.
Ah.
What racism is in this land?
It's more of a horseism.
Do you have problems with centaurs as well?
I've never met one.
They're very pleasant people.
They probably have a
never met
problem with
one.
him, honestly.
Yeah.
You talk a lot for someone who has nothing to say.
It's true.
Well, someone has to fill the air with something. Because I don't hear any bargaining happening.
It's all I
Well.
hear is gibbity gibbity gibbity.
I mean, I think 30 gold is reasonable. It's about what I was thinking.
I agree.
I would be happy to move around for 30 gold, but you have given me a present and I want to give you one back first. So you have told me the story of your morning. May I tell you a story as well?
Certainly.
Yes, well. Please, Please, gather round. As he does, he's going to take his wine and spray some of it out of his mouth into the fire pit. And as he does, it is going to spark, going from orange to green. As they dance and sway, a dark shape appears at the bonfire's core. You see, my family and I, we come from an ancient land whose name is long forgotten, a land of kings. Our enemies forced us from our homes, and now we wander the lost roads. The dark shape in the fire takes the form of a man being knocked from his horse, a spear piercing his side. One night, a wounded soldier staggered into our camp and collapsed. We nursed his terrible injury and quenched his thirst with wine, like we do to you now. When we asked him who he was, he would not say. But he was a traveler, and as my people's were, we did what we could to help him. All he wanted was to return home, but we were deep in the lands of his enemies. We took him as one of our own, dressed him as one of our own, hid him as one of our own, and we took him back as one of our own and followed him into his homeland. His enemies hunted him, yet, though they said he was a prince, we did not give him up, even when the assassins fell upon us like wolves. We have teeth as well. Deep in the bonfire, you see a dark figure standing with sword drawn, fighting off a host of shadowy shapes. Figures of men and women as well, drawing daggers and joining the fray. The man of royal blood fought to protect us, as we protected him. We bore him safely to his home, and he thanked us. He said, "I owe you my life. Stay as long as you wish. Leave when you choose, and know that you will always be safe here." The figure dancing in the fire vanquishes a final foe and disperses in a cloud of smoke and embers that rises above the fire pit, disappearing into the cloudy sky. You watch Stanimir's face fall a bit. A curse has befallen our noble prince. Has turned him into a tyrant. We alone have the power to leave his domain. We've traveled far and wide to find heroes. And it seems that heroes maybe have found us. Ones like you, to end our Lord's curse and put his troubled soul at rest. Our leader, Madame Ava, knows all. I ask, since we have to leave anyway, perhaps you can join us. Come to Barovia and speak with her.
What?
Were we going to that festival?
We were going to Droktad.
This sounds like an epic quest, though.
It does.
I cannot force you.
Festival.
But there will be a festival every year. It is not every day when the gods themselves lay down in front of you a task that can earn you a name, that can put coin in your pocket. You know, you, if you think only of yourself, think of the deep and resplendent treasury of a prince and the good we can do.
But festival. There's just going to be so much booze there.
But challenge.
True. And if we can do some good and lift the curse from someone, I think that is...
I have never challenged a curse before.
But festival. There's going to be a festival.
Your counter-argument is persuasive, my friend. But,
Is it persuasive enough to get another 10%?
No.
Oh.
well,
Uh,
so far
well, let me
the
try
amount
again.
is zero.
Festival.
Listen, doubts aside, I at least am feeling compelled to at least come to your homeland, see the curse, see if there's any aid we can offer.
What? Who cursed him? Was that said?
It was not said. Do you ask?
Yeah.
Ah,
I didn't catch it. If
it is an ancient story. Madame Eva has all of the answers you seek.
I say we do it.
I agree. I think
You tell a fine story, friend.
Wait. This Barovia place, do you have festivals there?
We have wine.
I
Do you have
need more
beer?
than just wine.
Look, I'm
Yeah.
sure
He's
we
more of a
can
beer man.
Find reason. And-
There could be beer there.
Okay, I'm on the fence now. You have my attention.
When we are victorious, we can celebrate.
Oh, no. Victorious. This festival thing. Like, wine and
A
beer,
celebration
maybe?
with one of these prince types, I hear should probably be
Look,
epic.
And they may be very grateful.
That's true. Princes do have more money than mayors.
I will
Princes don't
cut
even
25% off of our going rate.
Okay, now you definitely have my attention.
There we go. See, you would give us 20 gold instead of 30.
I'm liking this number.
That's not 25%, but
Yeah, we'll round it off.
I round it off.
We like you.
I'm a likable fellow.
Well, it's understandable.
Yes.
Well, if we are going to do this, then we should move, or at least be quiet so that they don't know about us.
Wait.
One person goes
Beforehand-
back to the city to get the rest of the money.
This sounds like we've made a deal. We need to shake hands if we're going to be making
He will
a deal.
spit in his palm and reach across the fire and shake your hand.
Ah, the contract signed.
All right. And with that, why don't we take a 5-minute
Take a break.
And,
that.
and rebuild the forest.
Yep.
Good job, Fern Gully. Thank you very much. We'll be right back. All right. So let's go back into this.
We have a contract.
All right. So you shake over. Sorry. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the bathroom break as much as we did. Tiniest bladders in gaming, folks. Except for Matt Pat from Game Theory. Much smaller bladder. I don't know. Hi, folks. Welcome back. Right. So you shake over the fireplace, and with that, so I suppose you want to go finish up your talk with the mayor.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Earn that last bit of money.
Yeah. We will to make sure that any sentries that he has believe that we have gone. We will meet you a bit further down the road.
Sounds good.
Perhaps in Maya. We will begin to head out, and you will catch up with us.
Sounds fantastic. All right, let's go talk to that mayor.
Friends, pack up. It's time to go. And with that,
Once we
Get
set
paid.
out.
you head back into Ostburn. A large manor in the center of town is designated as City Hall / the mayor's house. And you could tell that City Hall is a bit of an overstatement. Town Hall, perhaps. The manor built around the town hall as the mayor's domicile.
I will just look at it, cough into my hand with pretentious.
The door will open with it, and a halfling butler will step out. Yes?
Hello. Your mayor hired us to deal with the people outside your walls.
Ah, yes, the Expendables. Please come in. He will turn on his heel, and he's about 3'8" with large, well-groomed mutton chops flanking either side of his pert lips, a curled, coiffed pompadour of blonde hair, and basically a small tuxedo with tails and riding socks that have been pulled up almost to his knees above buckled black shoes. And as he pivots on his heel, he will say, "Follow me. Walk this way." He will take long striding steps toward, which for you are very short, dainty steps, toward the common room.
I will look at him and kind of think you don't want me to walk that way.
Yeah, you 2 steps and you'd kick his ass through a window.
I will follow along behind him, just going,
Oh, pompadours are so good.
roll my eyes slightly.
And he will lead you inside of the common room. I will fetch the mare.
Thank you.
I'll be here checking out your objects of art on the walls. They're lovely.
They are.
Yeah,
We have them counted and labeled and numbered.
Perfect. You don't want them stolen.
Perhaps you'd like some tea. Zelda! A halfling woman comes out, a bit older, plumper, straining at the edges of her frilled daffodil apron, carrying a tray of tea that's jangling slightly. Oh, some tea?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, Goliath. Ain't seen one of your type this far south in a while.
The adventuring bug bit me.
Had a Goliath as a pen pal for a while.
Oh. How was that?
Oh, it was nice that he wrote to me while I was in prison. And she'll hand out the tea.
Thank you.
You were in prison? Oh, the tales I bet you could tell.
Legally, I can't. I was in for libel and slander.
Oh. Well, good talk. Drink my tea.
And she'll sit and watch you all, especially you, as the butler jutted his chin out in your. Yes, the Dork is. In your direction as he wandered off. A moment later, the mayor will flamboyantly throw his girth around the corner. So, you've convinced the scallywags to leave the town.
Yes.
My guards have confirmed that they're already moving down the road.
They weren't too hard to convince. They were, didn't take much more than a look.
Wow. Let's see, you've already been paid.
I think you need to
Well,
dust in
Father,
here.
aren't you going to say bless you?
No need. No need.
Not part of our faith.
But perhaps you need to dust in here a bit.
I know some people that can move this stuff for you.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to take any more of your time. The final half of our payment and we'll move along.
Yes.
The final half, yes.
3/4.
3/4. It's good to be accurate.
Give me one moment, please. Well, a deal is a deal. And he will reach into his purse and pull out the other amount of coin that you bargained on. A lot of it is in silver and copper, but a quick check shows that it counts out to roughly 75 gold,
Alright.
just on a quick glance.
I will glance. Looks about right. Thank you. Pleasure doing business. She'll get up and start to leave.
And one thing, if this is a trick, and they come back sometime soon,
Shouldn't.
I do have your names from the logbooks.
That's nice. They shouldn't come back.
We're headed south anyways, so you probably won't hear from us either.
Good. Well, in that case, enjoy your time. And take care.
She'll very blank-faced. Just, yeah.
Well, we appreciate the hospitality.
Oh, that reminds me. And the small, plump halfling Zelda will hand you each a leaf-wrapped scone. Baked these myself just this morning, about 3 a.m.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
She'll tuck it into a pouch for...
Yeah.
Make a fantastic mid-morning snack. Thank you.
Aye, it's white cheddar and chive. Quite nice. Quite nice. A little hard. Not for your teeth, but maybe for yours. You've got dainty little teeth.
What do you know about my teeth?
The harder the scone just means it'll stand up to travel.
I mean, you're a half-elf. You've got mild teeth, don't you? I remember some of my cousins have been dentists for elves and half-elves because you live for so long and you start to wear down your teeth after a while. You know, like a rat.
Fascinating.
Or
Truly?
or a donkey.
I did not know this.
No.
Right.
But,
Or like an elephant.
you know,
Like mighty
don't
beast.
think I have tusks, so that is not really an issue.
Oh, I didn't say you were an orc, love. I'm not comparing you to some big, gigantic, ugly brute.
Oh look, it's time for the festival. We should probably press on.
What's on your wrist?
Nothing. I wanted to make sure that there's like
You
nothing on
have
my
on your
wrist.
wrist written "Go to festival." Oh, look at the time! Look at the now. Now it's time to go.
Right. Let's go. Let's leave.
All right. And with that, you head out and proceed down the roadway with your scones in pocket, and we'll meet up with the traveling caravan.
Once we do, I'll toss the leader his portion and say, try not to go back there for at least a few months.
We have no reason to go back there now.
They're certainly not a hospitable bunch.
Not all of them are bad. It's just people like that fat asshole.
Oh, Miss Harold. He was the nicest.
The
Not you, Cal.
bartender?
Yes! He gave me so much good memories with alcohol and more alcohol.
See, we can find somewhere else that has alcohol and more alcohol.
Well, apparently there's wine at this place. So.
Yeah.
I enjoyed my contest with the destroyer.
Exactly.
He was
That
a worthy
was-
opponent.
Impressive.
There'll be more.
I will
Truly
totally
was.
miss that.
So you continue down the way, and as you do, you find yourself winding along the road, headed on the way to the light fort. And as you're traveling, you notice that the rain has let up, but in the distance, you hear the sound of thunder rippling across the sky.
Make sure we're not out in the open for that.
The rain is just falling lightly around you. But as you travel with them, up ahead there's a bit of fog. And then it thickens. The already darkened sky fades as the mist reaches its tendrils up. And soon you find yourselves following this trail through a copse of trees. Can I get everyone to make me a knowledge nature roll? Oh, pardon me, a nature roll. I always ask for knowledge because of Pathfinder. And I'm just give me your numbers.
18.
18.
Don't fail me. Hey, not 20.
That's one.
Nice.
22! Best roll of the night. Oh, no.
So the three of you, as you're passing, so you're looking around and just feeling it's cold and murky, and you, any of you who would like to, can ride on the wagons instead of walking. And
Yes,
you are,
please.
yeah, so you are curled up inside of a hand knit blanket. And there are machine knit blankets in this world, of course, because dwarves. They build stuff like that. I have a very almost like one of those like Mexican blankets, like one of those that they have, with like the big diamond shapes and stuff woven right in, curling up beneath that, shivering next to a woman who's driving the wagon that you're on. A bit cold.
I nod my head and pull the blanket tighter.
She'll scoot her hip next to yours and reach over and pass you a wineskin. But here, this will warm you up.
Thank you.
What's your
That is-
charisma?
It's 12.
Nice, nice.
It's fine. It's not my lowest stat.
Your accent is
Wandering.
yeah, it's familiar yet exotic.
I noticed that you slipped into a very similar one when you did these people.
Yes, well, it's set in Transylvania's rip-off place.
I may
Have you
thought
seen
of
my
that.
Have you seen my shirt? Visit Castlevania.
Thank you. This is very kind. Let me, and I'll take the wine and I'll like. I guess it's not hot, but like a small light will appear in my hand, so we can drink not just in darkness.
That's fair. That sounds like a very kind thing to do, and she will happily drink next to you. Let me just check one thing very quickly.
It's good for me when you do this voice because it helps me stay grounded in this voice.
We could just start throwing things at you each time you stop. Like, we could, like, have a stash of socks. Start throwing a roll of
Just am
socks.
looking real quick to see if there is a photo of her. Nope, that's a photo of a vampire. That doesn't help anybody.
Unless someone's looking for a photo of a vampire.
Yeah, that's not helping me.
Hmm.
So basically, a young, you'd say she's probably maybe 15 or 16 is my approximation for the part of the book that I've read. And as much stats as they give her. What is your name?
My name is Kars.
Damia.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Damia.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well. I noticed that you made good friends with my father.
Friendship takes time to grow. Right now it is but an ember.
Yes, but it is an ember that is sitting on my cart, so it must be at least a friendly one, or else, and let's just say you burn down this cart, and we will not be friends.
Well, fortunately for you, my flame merely warms. It does not burn.
Does it? And tell me about these places you have been, traveling like your accent. And back to the three of you, you're going to look around and notice that this copse of trees. Now, you remember the maps that you'd seen and the ways to reach the light for it. And I want you to tell me what is conspicuously absent along the road.
Trees.
Trees.
This is a dense forest that's beginning to form around you. You don't know, but it would be almost like taking the Cherrywood Road through the center of the Cherrywood Forest. And this dense growth of trees reaching all around you is bereft of leaves. It is autumn, but the trees here seem further along, more skeletal, more reaching. And that's what you can see just beyond the...
And also, mist would have been weird for the weather we'd just been having.
Yeah.
Can I roll insight or perception to kind of figure out, did we just plane shift?
You may try, yeah.
Or what did we just do?
Very weird.
Did we
You
make
go ahead and
a
make-
turn somewhere?
Make me a roll. What'd you get?
There was nowhere to turn.
Nat 20.
You got a nat 20. You are going to look back and see that the road behind you, you'll notice that the cart is beginning to rock a bit more steadily.
The road's turned from mud to not?
It's turned more pitted.
Huh.
And as you look back, you'll see... You remember walking into the tree line a minute ago. But as you turn back, you see nothing but mist that becomes darker and greener as it reaches out into an unending line of trees. You can't see where you came from.
So, you didn't actually say where you're from.
But technically I did. I said that we are a proud people whose homeland was a land of kings, and we have been disenfranchised. But where we are going is a land known as Barovia.
Do I recognize it?
And
Where is it?
It is in a valley
Because as far as I can tell, we just switched from the road we were on to a different one.
The mists hide many things. Do not fear. Madame Ava will explain all.
Wasn't there a gate back there? I could have sworn we passed through a gate. It was like a big kind of fancy thing. Maybe it was just some more trees or something.
Ah. Do not worry. We will be approaching soon. Stick
There's-
close to the wagons and don't stray off the trail.
Something you said in that story, saying that
Yes.
your caravan was the only one who could leave that land.
We have the Lord's permission to leave.
It sounded a little more fantastic than that, I suppose.
Everything is fantastic when you are willing to open yourself to the fantasy. Careful more wine. It will keep the chill from your
Sure.
veins, but at least the rain has stopped.
I'll fish my cat out of the pack and perch her on my shoulder.
What does your cat look like? Describe your cat.
Long-haired, disheveled-looking silver tabby with large green eyes.
I will reach over and offer it a piece of jerky, as I usually do.
Cats
Fish
can have
jerky.
sausage.
Fish jerky!
Anything meaty?
Fish jerky?
Yeah.
All right. And as you're walking, I think this is a good point because we didn't do it earlier in the game, I realize. How about we go ahead and describe everybody but the Goliath? Well, you've been pretty well described, but we'll start with you anyway. So
You've
throw.
never been described as tall. We don't know anything else.
All right, so describe yourself, Goliath.
Okay, well, she's tall. So she's 7'6".
Check.
310 pounds. Gray eyes and pretty pale. Like most Goliath, she's kind of palish gray. Honestly, it's probably the stone giant background that I think Goliaths come from. And she has dark brown hair. So not my color, but much darker. Yeah, she's 19.
Oh.
Goliaths don't live long.
Oh.
Yeah,
Because once
that's
they-
from action, mostly.
Like, once they have achieved something like, say, they fought and killed a dragon, they now need to find a bigger, fiercer dragon to top their achievement.
Dragons are pretty scarce in these lands anyway, too, so good luck with that.
But, well, I mean, or anything like that. Once you've killed, like, one mountain lion, you now have to go and find a bigger, meaner mountain lion. Because you can't just stagnate. They live for challenge and competition.
True. Yeah.
So.
I suppose Shasta is 5'4". She's 28, I think. About 152 pounds. She has, I'm going with like brownish, dark brownish hair. I mean, kind of reddish brown. She's half elf, so pointy ears. A little bit, not super pointy. And I don't know. Wears lots of armor. She's pale. Dark eyes.
Dark eyes, yeah.
Oh, and facial tattoos.
She's got some decent scars.
Mostly inside of her heart.
Yeah, basically. Tragic backstory, I told you.
It's true.
Mhm.
All right. Karis.
Kars is an unremarkable looking man in his late 20s, early 30s. Kind of hard to pin down. He's got one of those faces. He doesn't really travel in the full vestments, although I'm sure if you dug through his bag you'd find them. He wears sort of common traveling clothes with little bits of sort of regalia around them that identify him as a priest. His scale mail is ill-fitting, and he moves in it with a certain discomfort that shows that he is more at home in a small sort of parish church. And
Better to perish than perish, and rather
Yeah.
to pray than slay.
yeah,
Pray away the slay. Slay away the prey.
He is 5'7". The average build. Yeah.
All right, and we don't know what the cat looks like. So, Zan the plan man?
Well, actually, Zan doesn't look that dissimilar from myself. I actually kind of modeled the character pretty much after everything I look like, so...
Devilishly handsome.
What you see is what you
alarmingly
get.
so. But otherwise, he is kind of roguishly charming in the fact that he tries way too hard all the time. And, yeah, and has a cat that he, like, keeps in his backpack most of the time because it's the only safe place to put the cat.
All right. So as you continue down the road, you find yourself on this winding, craggy path. Much different than the winding serpentine road that you were following just a short while ago. As you pass on this road, black pools of water stand like dark mirrors in and around the mud. Giant trees loom on both sides of the road, their branches clawing at the mist. It feels like you've been traveling for quite some time, at least a pair of hours. And the mist creeps around you, but mostly hangs to the woods. The carts pass through, and as the lead cart does, the mist seems to push itself aside from their hanging lanterns that they have jangling from the fronts of the driver's seats. In the distance, the more keen-eyed of you will see immediately two sets of gates. The fog spills out of the forest and swallows up the road behind you. Ahead, jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road, are high stone buttresses looming gray in the fog. Huge iron gates hang on the stonework. Dew clings with a cold tenacity to the rusted bars. Tenacity. Two headless statues of armed guards flank the gates. Their heads lie among the weeds at their feet. They greet you with silence.
The mist was tickly.
It's true. As you approach, the gates open of their own volition before the first carriage. As you pass through, on the opposite side, the eastern gates will open. Behind you, you will hear the grind of metal and the sound of iron slamming against iron as the gates shut themselves behind the last cart. The east gate closes behind you as well once you've passed through. And you come into a thick forest of towering trees whose tops are lost in the mist. They block out all but a death gray light. Tree trunks are unnaturally close to one another. Almost a wall of wood, like bodies pressed together for warmth. There is a silence, like a forgotten grave buried among the weeds. And yet, in that silence, you can sense a scream on the tip of someone's heart. Unvoiced, but something of great sorrow echoes out at you. Christine, you, pardon me. So Dawncaller and Brother Karas, as you're sitting from where you are, will notice animal tracks along the edges of the road and darting across it. They look not terribly recent, but still very prominent in the mud. Canine from the looks of it. What do you do? Just continue riding and walking?
I will have a closer look at them.
You can make me a survival roll.
16.
Looking down, you can see that they're wolf tracks. Some of them. These are large wolves. Timber wolves. Grey wolves. Sturdy. These wolves eat well. Their prints are deep. You estimate that they're on the larger side of the builds. And then you find a pair of tracks that is sunk down almost 2 inches into the mud. A quick mental math estimates that whatever made this, the wolf whose paws are twice as wide as the others, must be at least 150 pounds, maybe 200 pounds.
Now that would be an epic fight.
You recognize the footprints of a dire wolf.
Not fought a dire wolf before. Huh. She's just muttering away to herself, basically.
And you got a 16? You got a 16 on your roll?
Yes.
Glancing at the edge, you can see that there's one footprint that's been squashed by the cart as it rolled over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, because if you've seen people are walking alongside the carts and the way that the two prints merge together, you could almost swear for a moment that it was a wolf print with the heel of a man. As if
Have I heard of werebeast before?
Why don't you go out? You can make me another nature roll.
18.
Yes, you have. What would you like to know about lycanthropes?
I guess just that I know they exist, approximately what they are.
Lycanthropes are curse. They are also considered by followers of the goddess Soth, the goddess of nature and animals, to be a blessing. Lycanthropes are her chosen creatures.
So, not got anything against them. If one wants to fight, I'll happily have a contest with it.
They are very dangerous and very tough.
Yeah.
And basically, the scarier the animal that they turn into, the scarier they are. Especially bears, but very strangely, they tend to be very... they'll clean your clock, but then they'll also clean your house. Lawful neutral! Or lawful good, lawful good. Lawful good bears. We're not doing that in generic.
No.
Only you can prevent dragon fires. No. Screw that. Okay. So you're going to notice as well, and you're just going to observe from the cart.
Yeah, I was actually going to... I'll turn to the young woman whose name I didn't write down, sitting next to me, if she's still there.
She is. Does anybody remember before I have to look it up?
Starts with a D.
It does.
No.
It was more...
Damia.
Yeah, it was more complicated than...
Or Damia. Damia?
I think Dominic, that sounds
I think Damia sounds better.
Constantius Carus. There we go. Okay. I see you have... So, I'm going to look down at the car. I'm going to, indicate the tracks with, holding the wine, assuming it's not gone as well. And, you have beasts in your woods.
Yes. Do you not have beasts in your woods?
We have fewer woods.
Then you have fewer beasts. Goes to figure. Correlation.
I will stand up and stride alongside the cart and go, "They're large ones. How exciting."
I like you. You have spirit.
I'm always up for competition. A beast like that? Oh, that would be a fine fight.
Of course. Especially because they do not run by themselves. The lone wolf is a myth.
Indeed.
Or if not, it is not a truth for long.
Not often seen it in the mountains.
As they are talking, Brother Karis is going to catch the scent of death on the air. There's something rotting not very far off the path.
But definitely in the trees.
Just beyond the tree line.
Okay. I'll look down and dawn color. Do you smell that?
Now that you mention it, yeah. The mist is obscuring your scent a little, but now that it's been pointed out, yeah. It smells like rotting meat.
Something must have died and scavengers haven't gotten to it yet. That's surprising.
What do you do?
Just, it's a fact of life. I don't care.
They did tell us to stay on the trail.
If you want to step off for a moment, it's fine. I would just say, like, don't go into the woods. It's probably a dumb idea.
I mean,
Like, it's a bad idea to go up and try to set up a treehouse, maybe. Would not recommend. 0 out of 10.
do you want me to investigate for you?
I will come. And I'll, like, ungracefully clatter myself off the cart.
Why are you guys going into the woods? How about we all just stick together?
You are welcome to come
No,
into
I'm
the
not
woods.
getting into the
What?
woods. I mean, don't go into the woods. It's late. There's like...
I'm just gonna follow my nose real quick. If it goes much farther than a tree or two, I'm not gonna turn back.
Yeah, don't go into the tree line. Don't go out of scream distance.
About
I mean, yelling distance.
as you go to the edge of the edge. Now, is it just? Are you both going?
Yes.
Okay, it'd be better to
I-
go together.
I will also just renew the light on my hand. Because I can't see in the dark.
Oh, yeah.
It's dim enough. It's dim, but you can still kind of see. Do you have dark vision?
It was not mentioned in the Goliath page.
So no, you don't. So we only have one character with dark vision. That's a change.
Instead of
Unlike
all of
our
them.
normal D&D game where it's like the lights go out and they're like, we don't care. And I'm like, you guys
Oh no,
suck.
we can't see color
Actively
now.
have light cast on my, like, glove. Like, yeah.
You have one shining glove.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, Mr. Jackson.
No problem.
Just moonwalk into the werewolves.
A warm orange glow.
Oh,
Reminiscent of, like a...
Sunny D.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Better than that purple drink.
We have fun here. All right. From where you're standing at the edge of the woods, you can see that there's a thick amount of underbrush. And you think, you don't think you see anything until the light from your glove glints briefly off of a button. You see that there's a strip of bloodied clothing hanging from a thorn bush.
Does it look... Is the style of clothing at all reminiscent of the style of clothing of the people we're traveling with? Or is it like...
It looks more peasantry. It looks more dull and plain and drudgy. And as that focuses your attention on a single spot in the brush, about 15 feet from the edge, buried underneath some brush, you can see the tips of a bloated finger. Actually, several. There's a body under there.
I'll flick the coverage back to see what it died from.
All right, so you follow the foul stench to what's ever under that underbrush and flip it aside. The young man whose corpse you uncover appears to be a commoner. His muddy clothes are torn and raked with claw marks. Crows have already visited the body. It's surrounded by paw prints. He's been dead for several days, but holds something, a crumpled envelope in his hand.
I will remove it.
Okay. Are you going to read it here or go back to the cart?
I will have a quick look at it.
What you will see is that it has a large B set into a wax seal of red sealing wax.
Mm-hmm.
The parchment is worn and flimsy, and if you open it up, you'll see that it was dated 1 week from today.
Be the letter or be the animal?
Be the letter.
Okay.
Important.
Is it written in common?
It is written in common.
I'll quickly glance over it, see what it... Like, a quick skim, essentially. I'm not going to read it in depth.
That's fair. So as you do, as you glance over it, you'll see. This is the one thing I don't have a handout of, sadly, because I planned for this, and I couldn't find where this damn thing was because it's the second version of this letter. As you look it over, something. It looks like a letter. Looks like a letter for help. From someone named Kolyan Indrinovic?
Does it say who they were?
Hail thee of might and valor is how it starts.
Huh. I'll take it and go back to the carts.
In the distance, you can hear howls begin to encircle the forest.
Alright, we should probably head back to the carts.
Yep.
I agree.
All right. So once you are back on the road, almost as if by magic, once you step on the road, the howls begin to echo further away. Well, howls don't echo, but one echoes another. Like, they must have been following some game across here. Caught a scent. Maybe it was yours, maybe they decided that it wasn't worth it when a deer was running by the other direction. It must be what it is.
Well, of course, anything else would be odd.
And foolish.
Yes, for a deer is much easier dinner than a Goliath.
It's true.
Especially with my giant fuck-off maul on my back. That would be some crushed rib cages.
And with that, you find yourself heading across a vast, empty space. Fields and farmlands of onions and tubers. Patches of dirt ground into the ground. And a small village waits ahead of you. Tall shapes loom out of the dense fog that surrounds everything. The muddy ground underfoot goes to slick, wet cobblestones as your wagons pass through the wide avenue through the center of town. The tall shapes are recognizable as village dwellings. The windows of each house stare out from pools of blackness. No sound cuts the silence except for, in the distance, a mournful sobbing. Can I get, I'm assuming at this point you're probably looking around.
Yeah.
I would like a perception roll or investigation. Let's do perception. Let's do perception.
18.
18? What'd you get?
Natural one.
Natural 1.
Yeah.
I got a 6.
You got a 6?
Perception, 22.
22.
Yee.
I do top tier solving, it's true. I think about how much money I spent on these microphones, and it comes easily. So with you glancing around, what you will see is that these cobblestones are old and cracked and ill-maintained. And the carriage bounces as you get back on it with Damia. You, Zan, will notice these houses. The windows look out from blackness. They'd be easy to loot in through, but you see the doors themselves are shoddy wood. But you can see one of them shut as you approach. And they don't have locks. Many of them have bars on the inside, you imagine. Several of the more
of those that are wealthy, several have thick wrought iron bars hammered over the windows. This is a place that's seen crime. You feel simultaneously disgusted and at home. Glancing around, you can see that in the distance there is an old woman pulling a hand cart. She slowly moves, and a man stumbles out of an alley, licking his chapped, parched, shredded lips. His eyes are sunken, hollow, like he hasn't eaten in weeks. And yet, he's not terribly slender. He reaches a shaky hand out to the woman who is skeletally thin at the fingers, which are just slightly too long for her hands. Passes her some coin. She happily smiles toothily with many gaps like a jack-o'-lantern in her smile, and passes back a wrapped package that looks not dissimilar from the scone that you were given earlier this day. As she pockets the coins, you'll notice one of them is slick with blood. And you, is there anything you're looking at in particular with that 22?
Not specifically, although I was considering using my divine sense because it seems weird.
Oh, sure. What would you like to use it on?
Well, it's just in a 60-foot radius, I can detect presence of any place or object that's been consecrated or desecrated, as with the Hallow spell.
Okay.
And also can know location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
I gotta check something, 1 sec.
And I know if it's celestial, fiend, or undead, but not their identity.
No, that's technically a fae. Okay. As per the desecration spell, no. But what I'm going to give you is, as you turn this on, it's like turning on a black light in a hotel room. You glance around and you see stains everywhere. Blood stains, tear stains, stains of inequity, stains of loneliness and despair. And as you glance over at that woman, she smiles toothily back at you, and for a moment, it's not like when you detect a monster, a demon, or a god. But for a moment, it's like there's a second, like a shadow of her looming behind her. A larger, twisted form. She looks at you, pulls her scarf more tightly around her mouth, and continues down the road, away from you.
Don't like this place. I really don't like this place. Doesn't feel right.
We will be through it soon, my friend. Just on the other side, see? This is the village of Barovia. If you ever come back through here, there's only one place that's worth going to. And as you pass through the center of town, he'll jut a thumb back over his shoulder, and you'll see that there is a large square building with a sign swaying in the breeze that says Blood of the Vine Tavern.
Blood of the Vine?
Blood of the Vine. Its sign swings in the in the morning breeze. Cool. It's good to hear. You continue on. And as you do, you'll pass through the back gates of the village of Barovia. And as you pass through those gates and back onto the road, you all feel a chill creep up your spine. Oh, thank God. Whichever your preferred God is. You're out of that cursed... Ugh. It reminds you of some of the slums that you've been in. Like the slums in Avonwatch are not dissimilar. All of the people who've lost themselves to those strange toxins. All themselves who've lost themselves to drink and robbery and the desperation of those people. But that's a life you've left behind. As you continue, it's about an hour, winding along these roads.
I eat my scone.
It's a comfort, and you eat in relative silence. If you ask or look thirsty, you're offered a water-traveling wine. But for the most part, the Vistani keep to themselves, and they're friendly enough, but they are definitely not trying to make too much of this and trying to be quiet while on the road. They
Maybe
don't
we'll
keep.
take a cue from them and keep quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a short while, you will find the correct page
That
in your
coffee's
book.
wearing off.
Should have had some bars, but you don't like drink.
Oh, I had espresso.
Mm.
2 shots.
You'll actually pass something that surprises you midway along the way. A sneaking river of clear blue water. The first natural looking thing. A well-worn sign splits the road here, and a signpost opposite, well, just something you'll notice after the river, point off in 3 directions. Barovia Village, which you just came from. Tasser Pool, that's T-S-E-R, or Sir Pool, to the northwest, and Ravenloft / Wallaki, that's V-A-L-L-A-K-I, to the southwest. Yes, I'm pronouncing it Wallaki, because I can. The northwest fork slants down and disappears into the trees, while the southwest fork clings to an upward slope. Across the street, however, you see a low wall crumbling in places, partially enclosing a small plot of graves shrouded in fog, and a gallows. As you look, you'll hear a creeping noise behind you in the fog, a creaking noise. The sound of rope pulled taut. And as the mist clears for a moment, where nothing was in your vision before now hangs a gray, lifeless corpse. The hanged figure turns slowly in the breeze, like an ornament on a tree.
Lovely.
Yeah, I say a quiet prayer.
It's almost as if the breeze is trying to let the corpse look at you, as its sticky, dead eyes turn with, well, remain motionless in their sockets, but turn with the body. But the breeze stops as the eyes fixate on you, and a stillness falls as you watch the flies begin to crawl over his eyes and mouth.
Oh, what did he do? Did he kill someone? Did he kill a bunch of people? Did he steal money?
Are you saying this out loud?
Yes.
Okay. Who knows?
Really?
Yes, wow.
Wait, who put him up there?
I don't know. Perhaps you should go check. Maybe he has things in his pockets, my friend.
Unlikely.
No, I don't mess with dead things. I'm just interested in see what got him up there.
He's probably just a common thief.
Hmm.
And as you turn to look back at him, his face looked very familiar. As you hang from the gallows, your dead eye staring down at you, judging you.
Well, he's definitely not that common. He's kind of good looking. Maybe he got hung because he's really famously good looking?
No, he's an unfamiliar Barovian man. Except to Zan.
Doesn't look that attractive.
Well, not now. He's dead. Oh, but the stories he could tell, if he could tell them. I'm probably filling in a bunch of blank pages here, but he probably had a great life.
He's a stranger.
Well, everyone's a stranger until you meet them.
The cart takes the road that winds north. And the road gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth are evidence of the comings and goings of other wagons like this. The canopy of mist and branches suddenly give way to black clouds boiling far above. There's a clearing here, next to a river that widens to form a small lake, several hundred feet across. 5 colorful round tents, each about 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside of a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons, much like the ones that you were riding in. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several bright dressed figures around the fire. A footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest edge. Let's see. Cool. As you approach, you can see that there are a dozen rough-looking people singing around this fireplace as someone plays the accordion. And oh, that's too big. There we go. They just talk amongst themselves, and when you approach, a scruffy black dog runs out and gives an alert. Well, it appears we are home. The large tent is Madame Eva's. She is the one you are looking for. And she is the one who's looking for you.
Do we need an introduction or just walk right in?
She is expecting you.
See,
Alright then.
let's not keep her waiting.
Twould be rude.
The carts pull up in front, and as you go by, you can hear the sound of the people in the circle as they're talking along. One of them starts telling a story. And then my friends, I met a young man, a real diamond in my pocket. Aha, I got you there. As you step over to the tent, I'm assuming you're going along to see the tent?
Sure.
Cool. Yeah, you might as well. Magic flames cast a reddish glow over the interior of this tent, revealing a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the tables as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As you look up, or as you look in, you will see A woman that could only be described as a crone. Yes, we're in props now. I'm going to put on a babushka. I don't have a red one, sadly, so... I'm beautiful. Shut up, Michael.
It's fantastic. It's real silk.
I'm in high admiration
That's
of your
comfy.
beard, madam.
Yes, as you should be. As you approach, the crone speaks. And as you step inside, the sound of the crowd abruptly vanishes. Her voice crackles like dry weeds. At last, you've arrived. Her laughter bursts like mad lightning from withered lips. Please have a seat, Zan. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
The orphans thank you for your donations. Even though they know it not to be you, they will thank you. Please sit and
welcome.
clear off a space for the one who left her child at the temple unattended. Yes, her name, Shasta. Shasta, please. Dawn Caller. I've a chair particularly suited for you. For one who has survived a staring match with a cyclops. Although you must admit you had twice the advantage that he did.
Twice the ability to fail as well.
Brother Cars, and stop beating yourself up. It wasn't your fault. One man cannot defeat a plague on his own, even with the healers of Kalara. Of Kalar. You are one man, and you are but an acolyte at the time. It was not your fault. Sit. Sit.
Thank you. And I'll pull out a chair, and I will sit down. Or I'll pull out the chair
The chair.
indicated to me and sit.
And how could I forget? Hookfoot.
She's pretty comfy right here on my shoulder. Always watching.
I've set aside this, and she'll scoot with these little gnarled fingers. A plush cushion that's slightly musty with age around the corner. For when she grows tired of your old bones. You are what they brought to me. You are what they brought to me.
It seems you were expecting us.
You are the ones who will fulfill my goals. Would you like to know your fortune, any of you?
I will hear what you have to say.
She will reach to a deck at the center of the table. As she does, she will begin to shuffle the cards. Hold your hand out. Hold it over the cards, and she will hold them out to you. Okay. And she will break the deck in two, begin to shuffle and mill through them. This card. It tells a story. Knowledge. Knowledge
of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. You've drawn the wizard. The wizard. Look for a wizard's tower on a lake. Let the wizard's name and servant guide you to what you seek. You will know when the time is right. She draws the next card, placing it above and to the right of the first one. Ah, yes. Everyone's favorite, the tax collector. This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope, something very scarce in Barovia. The Vistani have what you seek. A missing child holds the key to the treasure's release. This is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. The paladin. She places this down to the right, forming a triangle of cards. I see a sleeping prince, a servant of light, and the brother of darkness, the treasure. It lies with him. Please, she'll pull out a small stack of cards. Please pass that over to Neil. Cards, do shuffle those and hand them to me.
All right.
This card sheds light on the one who will greatly help you in the battle against evil, the marionette. Oh. And she shuffles her fingers over the card, and a second one will jut out. How strange. It appears the two of the cards are stuck together. The other one is a card that you recognize, at least the words. The seer, a man whose cranium is covered with dozens and dozens of eyes. Which one is this? Is this A or B? Oh shit, they give you two marionettes and they don't tell you, okay. Is this the good one or the bad one? What was the other one look like? That'll probably, hold on, I just gotta double check this because they're two marionettes, they're jokers basically.
Yeah, makes sense.
No they're not, they're the same. There's only one of these?
No.
Well, how does that help me? Okay. One moment while I look this up in section D, because this is what...
Oh no.
That face.
Okay, we're going with that one, because who doesn't love Five Nights at Freddy's?
What?
What horror is this? What horror? I see a man made by a man. Ageless and alone, it haunts the towers of a castle. And yet the one that was stuck together by your poor shuffle Look for a dusk elf living among the Vistani. He has suffered a great loss and is haunted by dark dreams. Help him and he will help you in return. The fates have decided that you can pick either of these paths. And your final card. Your enemy is a creature of darkness, whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. The Dark Lord. Fitting. He lurks in the depths of darkness, in the one place to which he must always return. You have quite the future ahead of you.
It seems varied. Like branching path of fate.
Or lightning. I'll move my chair over a couple inches further away.
Or like the tendril of a flickering flame.
Or lightning.
Flame brings hope. Lightning is another matter.
An interesting addition. You are here.
Yes. Yes, we are.
She shuffles the cards and slides them back under a silk bag. Please. The treasures. The cards reveal that one of them is here, among us. I give you permission to search the wagons if you wish.
I will not turn down your permission, but it seemed as though we would not simply find it by searching a wagon.
Then don't take my permission.
Well, I mean,
What would you like to know?
So, okay. This is all very fantastical and spooky, but in plainer speak, I suppose, is this...
She gnaws at her fingernails as she talks to you.
So we need to find a bunch of treasures to defeat some Dark Lord, and this is somehow related to the curse that the others told us about?
Yes.
Are we trying to lift the curse or kill someone? The person cursed. What do these treasures have to do with this?
Wait a second. Hold the bus. Okay. We came here to fight something and not have a festival, and we just picked a bunch of cards, and now you're telling me the story of the reason why we're here is because we picked a bunch of random cards? How does that work?
I mean, they were saying that they were trying to lift a curse, so...
Well, yeah, why don't we just do that as opposed to the card thing?
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You should know your destiny.
I don't believe
Before-
in destiny.
You don't have to. It believes in you.
So there's something here that'll help us, but we have to go and look for it? Why doesn't it just come and present itself?
Because he does not want you to have them.
Who is he?
I do not say his name.
The prince?
Yes. Our prince. The Prince of Barovia.
Right. Is there something that will indicate these treasures, or
Wait, wait, wait.
are they...
Wait, we got permission to go look for it.
We did, but we don't know exactly they...
Well, I'm okay with, like, looking through everything.
That will take a long time.
I've got time.
For coming here. You will be handsomely rewarded if you manage to break this curse and return Barovia to the light. And if you do not, well, that is irrelevant.
What I'd like to know is why this individual was cursed in the first place.
He... It is a long story. Perhaps one you should find out from a better source. He was once a prince of this land. He named this Barovia after his father and his castle after his mother, Queen Ravenlovia. Many years ago, centuries, maybe a short time for your people, you with the fair blood. Some hundreds years ago, he died. But he does not stop. He never stops. He controls everything.
So he's undead.
And you, Paladin, are brought here to stop his curse from keeping us here. No one except the Vistani leave Barovia. But this is our home. The Barovians that you saw, did you see them as you came to the town? Some of them are odd souls. Like when you do not use all of the meat, so you grind it and make new sausage. Their souls are like sausage, ground and reconstituted into new meat. Because even souls do not escape Barovia. But there's a problem with that. When the Lord conquered Barovia so many years ago, it was a much smaller village, a much smaller valley. With time it grows. Are you ever here that this village has so many souls living in it? Yes. We have many villager, many person, probably 3,000 inside of Barovia, the valley. Not so many souls. So do not fear. If you fail holy mission, maybe try again in next life. You will not be going anywhere.
Well, that's a motivator.
Yes. Yes, it is. But I have faith in you. I have faith in you because you are drawn here by the mists. Because when I sent out my friend, you five answered the call. It's going to be quite challenge, Goliath. It's going to be holy mission for you and you. And it's going to be great reward. And maybe if you save these people, you can make up for all that you have done, Zan. Or maybe you dance at the end of a rope still. The way is before you. I will tell you one more thing before you go. The Lord, He looks everywhere. His eyes are everywhere. He sees everything through his servants. Servants of wolf, servants of bat, servants of other animal and bug, and even ones that walk on two legs serve the Lord. Because they look for new people, and they look for old people that come again. Because the Lord has taken many consorts over his time, but only Tatiana has been his love. But no one knows what happened to her oh so long ago. I wish you luck on your quest. She will begin cackling madly.
Well,
That was creepy as hell, Echo.
And at that point, you probably feel the urge to get the hell out of that tent.
We'll just see
Yeah.
ourselves out.
And as you do, you will find yourself around the campfire. And you have a couple choices here. You can go and approach your host, Stanislav, or you can go listen to the campfire story. Looks like they're passing the talking stick to another person. And as you step outside, actually, the choice is going to be taken from you as... Oops, sorry, I'm not the crone anymore. Hold on, I am now Stanislav. Your traveling companion steps forward, his goatee freshly glazed with wine. My friends, you had a good time in there. Yes, she knows very much. It's true. The Vistani women
Are terrifying.
Hey, all women are terrifying, you give them a chance. Vistani women have prophecy. They see the future. It's true. They see all sorts of future. The only thing they do not see is Vistani future. This cruel trick. They cannot look at own future, cannot look at our future. But you are different. You are not one of us. So they can see into your future. I cannot. I can see into your past maybe 5 minutes if you walk past me. Very slow. Okay? But I can see that you will need one favor right up front. Barovia is Wide Valley, and I have present for you as you are headed off into the night. For the sun, should it ever rise, is about to be set. And soon, the Night Mother, our Mother Night, will be in charge once more. Not that the Morning Lord ever answers prayers anyway. But hey, I have for you a present. Who's trustworthy? Cat? Okay. Here is map.
Ah.
I wish you the best of luck. Come, listen to fun story at fire. But first,
I know.
welcome to Barovia. And we're going to call a game there. Thank you very much for tuning in. What do you guys think of Ravenloft so far?
Creepy as
Good,
hell.
spooky.
Oh, good, good. I was worried it wouldn't be too spooky.
No, it's plenty spooky.
2 spook for you.
No.
5 spook.
5 spook?
3 spook at least.
So spooked.
So spook?
3.5 spook, exactly.
So far, I will say, so to break character for a second, I want to talk a little bit, and if there's anything you want me to do more of or less of, this game was a little railroady because it has to set you up and get you on your fetch quest.
Yeah.
This game definitely feels like Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, where you're like, must find the magic amulet to do this, and that, like it's very much
Go to the edge of the map and crouch with the stone?
right.
Yeah.
No, there's some definitely some stuff like that. Also, I really like your friend in the chat, Amy. I like her.
What did you spook 7 me?
Spooks, I will spook 70. Like and subscribe and smash that bell. So I will say the one problem I have with this is that the module's really solid, and it's full of information, but they don't really. If you're used to something like a Paizo adventure path or a storytelling adventure system document, they don't. It's very hard to find the information because like you're looking through this. And they give me stuff like, oh, well, there are 3 ways to get you into this adventure. One is just to be like, screw you guys, the myths are around you while you're walking. One is you get hired to hunt werewolves or something like that. One is you get a dinner invitation that's kind of from Strahd. That's kind of tied to the werewolf thing. And then the other one is that what I did, where you get hooked up with Madame Ava. But the thing is that when you get to Madame Ava, they're like, Madame Ava does a card trick.
Okay. That's it?
That's like, and then it's like she wants this, and you're like,
Okay.
okay. What do I do? What do I say? Like, how do I get you guys into the adventure? Do I just go, welcome, here's your fetch quest, here's your list. Check all boxes, Vampire King dead. like how do you have to kind of make it up on the fly. And then midway through, I was like, shit, do they follow Voldemort rules here? Am I allowed to say Strahd's name without evoking him? And I couldn't remember, and I'm like, you know what? She doesn't want to invite that into her tent. I mean, actually, he's pretty handsome, maybe. So I would suggest that you play D&D online.
Yes, we're all in the same place. We're in the same room, in fact.
Well, I mean, it's easier for them to for you guys to appear like you're in the same room. I really like that copse of trees. I think good job, Michael. That was all Michael.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It does look pretty cool.
So this is actually putting a case to the point that me buying those other backdrops is going to be perfect.
So this one works really well. You can't even see the wrinkles on the screen
And
at
if
all.
you do, it's like the trees wrinkled.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it does look quite cool. I quite like it.
I may have questions about the prophecy at a later date. I tried to take notes.
That's okay.
but
I have everything written down.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess,
So they don't really give you much to work with, so you have to kind of piece it together yourself.
I guess, is it impression left on the character that we have to follow all these leads to figure out how to break the curse?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we do have to do all the things to...
And it kind of fills in the gaps. Like, what I want you to go into this story with is that as you are going through the story, bits of the plot will kind of fill themselves in. Okay, think of this story not as a plot-driven story, but as a character or literature-driven story. So, like, you will, hint, hint, you will go back to the village of Barovia because it's pretty close to here, and you can start doing some recon and buy maybe like a sweet roll or something.
Tavern.
Yeah, go to the tavern, right?
It seems like a good place.
And like it's
Shout
you
out to
know,
locals.
you can go do that, and that will reveal other things like, oh hey, this person needs your help. And you can make some allies, and that'll be like, oh, that seems like it's strangely tied in to the... All the plots are incestuous.
Okay.
Like, this is a family bush of plots.
Okay.
Sure, as long
But-
as right.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to comment on the chat.
Okay, go ahead.
It was the thing you say all the time about gonna be real with you, and then whatever. But usually, when you say that, whatever you say afterwards is very entertaining. I was not as funny.
That's true. All right, everybody, so that's going to be it for episode 1 of Curse of Strahd. See us in 2 weeks where we do this again and start going to Village Barovia and probably get some combat in, which will be great. We'll have the dungeon cam up and running for that, I think. Probably. We'll have your minis completed. The minis are looking pretty good so far. And with that, don't forget that tomorrow night we have a very special episode where we are play testing Girl by Moonlight, the magical girl role-playing game from Black Hat.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it's going to be really weird.
So do you think I should have pigtails
I
tomorrow?
think you should have pigtails.
In pink, hot pink hair.
I'll shock you up.
And none of my face tattoo. I'll wash that off.
I think you should get that space tattoo for real.
So did you use eyeliner for that?
Yep.
Yeah,
Liquid
Yeah,
eyeliner.
yeah. It looks like it. Yep.
Brown metallic.
It's
Bought
awesome.
it today. It was cheap. It was
Going to
good.
be real with your child. That's a good
$5.
campaign. Well, thank you so much
And
for
tape.
tuning in, everybody. We hope to see you again tomorrow night. And if not, we'll see you soon. Don't forget, generics every Wednesday now that we are not in a blizzard.
Yay!
Yay!
It melted really quick.
It made it melt really quick. All right, have a great night, dorks. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.